Alright, yeah, welcome back to some more Magic Arena, and today we're going to be taking part in the Friday Night Magic at Home Mastermind event. This is actually the second time this event has appeared, and last time I think it was a bit hit or miss. There was a few changes that I hoped that they would make, and it's been sufficient enough time since that particular event that they've had plenty of time to improve it anyway. But before we get into whether or not they've actually improved it, let's talk about the event, shall we? We're going to be playing with this particular emblem today, a Mastermind emblem. As long as 0 lands enter the battlefield under your control this turn, and it is your turn, each card in your hand has discard this card, create a colorless land token with add 1 mana of any color. Activate this only anytime you could cast sorcery. So essentially what this says is on your turn, you may discard a card to make a land, and that's particularly important when you look at the deck, because the deck is 200 cards and has no lands. So essentially on turn 1 we're going to discard something we never expect that we're going to be able to play, or maybe it's bad, and we're going to make a land out of it and hopefully make a land drop. The last time I played this event, I believe my critique on it was that there were some underpowered cards, and looking back at it, there's still some underpowered cards in here, but it's got actually the added benefit of a few new sets in it. Armenket Remastered is in here, as well as I think M21 had not come out. Correct me if I'm wrong, but we also have Jumpstart. So at the very least, we have Jumpstart and Armenket Remastered. That's 2 new sets entering this particular format, if you want to call it that. And yeah, it looks interesting. There's no Big Daddy Bolus, which blows my mind. Armenket Remastered, iconic card. Nicol Bolas Dragon, God Pharaoh, seems like a thing, but it's missing. I guess they didn't want that high-powered cards. I don't know. I feel like that would have been fun to top end out, because I remember getting to 7's not really, like, realistic. But, you know, who knows? Anyway, guys, it's free to enter anyway, so you might as well give it a shot. It's a great place to do your dailies if you're not enjoying any of the formats that are currently in place at the moment. And for your first 2 wins, completely free to enter, as I mentioned. For your first 2 wins, you get 2 rare ICRs, so you might actually get something. At the very minimum, you're going to get 40 gems worth of ICRs. So, yeah, without further ado, let's get into the format and see what we think of this one. If you do enjoy, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe. Let's do it. This video is brought to you by the generous support of our wonderful patrons and channel members that you see here. If you'd like to support the channel and get access to cool content like sneak peeks, bonus videos, polls on future content, or access to a personal deck critique from myself every month, then hit the join button down below, or check out the Patreon link in the description. With all that said, let's get into the gameplay. Okay, so we're in, and we're on the play. As we mentioned, we have to discard a card that we don't think we're going to use in order to make our land drop. And remember, card draw is very key in this format, so we want to be going very heavily into that. I think I'm going to get rid of Basri's Solidarity here. Discard that, and then we'll drop down, I guess, Risa Redeemed. Want to work our way to, I guess, the first row in game, so having several targets to make sure that we can draw those 2 cards on Chapter 3 is kind of important. Yeah, where do we go from here, though, is the question. Our opponent is here. That's good. Might as well close the deck tracker. It's not going to work, apparently. Yeah, you want to use, like, cantrip effects and things like that, but more specifically, I imagine you want to be using actual, like, draw 2s. So we do have, like, flashback cards, and that's not a bad one, actually. I'm gonna get rid of Makeshift Battalion because it's just draft chaff. We'll go with a Trespasser's Curse and curse our opponent. So whenever a creature enters the battlefield under their control, they're gonna lose 1 life and we're gonna gain 1 life, so that should do a little bit of value. Stops token related strategies from working, at least. But yeah, I don't know if there was many graveyard shenanigans going on. So with things like Silent Departure and, you know, Eternalize cards that have a benefit of going into the yard, it's going to really change the downside of the Mastermind's token for maybe the better. I don't know. We'll see. There's Glorious Anthem. Alright, so I'm going to get rid of think I'm dumping Defiant Strike. Again, it's just kind of a redraw rather than a actual draw card effect. So I think we're going with the first Heroan Games here. Make a 1/1. Put the counters on that and make it a 4-powered creature to draw 2. And see where we go from there. We could just drop down Glorious Anthem and pass maybe next turn. Well, attack in probably, because we'll have a 5/5. Gonna take your 2. We'll hopefully earn back some of this life that we're losing. Just on the Trespasser's Curse alone. I do love this card quite a lot. It is very good. Discards Machias. And goes for a Maze Mind Tome. That's honestly exceptionally good. Yeah, my critique with this particular format was that it was kind of card draw and bomb reliant. It appears as though that's kind of changed. I'm just going to play Glorious Anthem. I mean, there's definitely, you know, more powerful card draw effects in here, but still. Well, we're not going to be able to protect our dude, so let's just make a land drop with that. Once we're at 7, you don't really want to be discarding any more cards, realistically. You want to just rely on, you know, getting lucky with our card draw effects, like our first Heroan Games and our opponent's Maze Mind Tome, for example. They'd use that to scry. Don't think you ever do that. I feel like you always go for the card draw. This slow enough, this format. It's probably for the best that you just use it to draw cards. Since you're going to be discarding every turn to make a land drop and then, you know, playing a card, you're going to run out of resources very fast, so you don't really want to use your resource generators unwisely. There we go, our opponent's going to go draw. I mean, typically when it comes to Maze Mind Tome, 9 times out of 10 you actually lead with the scry. If you play on curve, at least. Alright, opponent's going to discard his Zertar Goblin, and they've got 2 mana. We really do not want to see them destroy our 5/5. That will severely hinder our ability to win this game. Okay, take 2. Looks like we got the chapter going. Gravewalker's very good. It's going to help us with all the stuff we're going to be discarding. Plenty of, you know, fodder for that. Bloom Hulk. That almost works. We could proliferate the first Heroan Games and our token, but, you know, the gold token we get off of this, we can't really use that to time twist it in response, because it'll be gone. I think that's how that works. Maybe there's a chance we could do that. So if we went with, like, discard Pyromancer, I'm pretty sure it sacks when it hits the last one. But we'll try it anyway. Full control mode. We'll proliferate, because we can, you know? Because we can. I'm actually going to proliferate their Maze Mind Tome as well. Because they don't get anything for it, really. So we get a gold token, and then I think it sacrifices on resolution, yeah. Which is fair enough. We've still got ourselves a 6/6 and a 5/5. Pretty happy with that. The more you know. Alright, take them to 9. Pass the turn. And we'll leave open Teferi's Time Twist here just to protect the Bloom Hulk. Nice 4-mana 5/5. Also means we can play down the Gravewaker without much trouble. I'm going to discard the Deafening Clarion. Up to 5 mana. This does bring it back on end step as well, so if your opponent does have a board wipe, we can flicker Bloom Hulk out of combat, essentially. I imagine they're just going to go for a draw here because they haven't found what they needed. They do have Silent Departure in the yard. I can get rid of a 6/6. It is sorcery speed though, so they're going to have to do that pretty quickly. Interesting, okay. There goes the Maze Mine Tome. And no silent departure now. Gotta make good use of this token while we still have it. Ooh, rewind. Actually, is probably the best draw we could have had there. So our opponent goes for a silent departure after we force them to block with the Sky Marcher. We rewind the departure, tapping them out completely, and then we present lethal. This is just counter any spell, right? It is, so... Yeah, I imagine they were just going to tap out for anything there, and our double swing should have cleaned up the game nicely, so pretty sweet. Alright, first game down. Let's go. Actually, let's see if I've got 40 gems. Or 20 gems. I usually get one. It's usually very exciting when I actually get a rare. But today is not that day. Alright, well, next game then, I suppose. Okay, we're in, and deck tracker, even though it's turned off, is going weird. Alright, let's have a look at this hand. It's very aggressive. It's got lots of token generators, and not really sure what to think of it. Ooh, an Exonerable Tide is pretty good with our Planeswalkers. Alright, well, we're gonna dump the Maximize Altitude since it's got Jumpstart and, you know, effectively does the same job. Yeah, we're basically playing tokens, I think. A very weird situation to find ourselves in. But it's the one we're going with. So, Wally Warrior Poet, I'm sure none of you really know what this one does. 3 mana, 5 loyalty. That's the reason why it's probably never seen play in its entire life. Tick up for 2, gain life, equal to the greatest amount power among creatures you control. A Nerophage for our opponent goes into the yard. 0 makes a 3/3 dinosaur, and then the -X deals X damage divided as you choose among any number of target creatures. So, you like to do the useless one and work your way up, essentially. Alright, we're going to get in. I don't think Seal Away exists, and I don't think I should have to care either way. They might have a, I don't know, a flashy creature. But I'm pretty sure most of them are like 2/1s at the 2-drop slot. Okay, I don't think Hamlet-back Goliath is realistically getting cast here, so let's put that in the trash. And then we'll go for a Zertar with a counter. I want to do the counter because we've got the Inexorable Tide for the Proliferate. So realistically, we could probably make that quite large. Dumps an Arclight Phoenix. Nice. Potential card draw down the line. Merfolk Trickster. That's a good one. Can Trickster the Visionary and stop them using that extra ramp mana. I'm okay with that. So essentially what we'll do is we'll go with Alseid Dump. Swing for 3. They probably will not block. And then on their turn, we will tap their Visionary on upkeep. Keep them playing fair. Clean, fair magic. Time Twist in response. Okay. That's pretty much their turn taken over. Take this stop off now. It kind of achieves the goal that I was hoping for, but they get a little bit of card draw anyway. In addition, Young Peasy for them. Miscast. Counter target instant or sorcery unless its controller pays 3. Okay. Well, I'm gonna go with discard this miscast. We'll play Angrath. And we will amass. And get in, I think, with Zertar Goblin? I think that's fine. That's probably fine. Yeah, whatever. Alright. Sweet. Can double block the Visionary if it comes to it. And yeah, next turn we'll go with the Inexorable Tide. So whenever we cast a spell, we proliferate. So our Planeswalkers that we're going to hopefully be dropping down turn after turn here are going to be able to be reused constantly. Just off of anything we play. All the while, our creatures with counters on them should get larger as well. So that could be nice. So Vraska also puts counters on creatures with Death Touch dealing damage, which is, I'd imagine, quite likely to happen. Discards Gravewalker, and they've got 3 mana left with the Llanowar Visionary. We kind of want them to tap down the Visionary, ideally. Okay. Got nice varied colours for the LC to never really give unblockable here. Now that is weird. Double block. They've got 2 mana open here and it can be of any colour, so I'm imagining they've got something to pump the Pyromancer out of the 2 damage range. Or they just want to do the Alseed instead and that was their plan. Bone Crush the Trickster. Trade with the Amass token. Fair enough. Harvester of Souls. Whenever a non-token creature dies, you may draw a card. That's very good. Oh, that makes things difficult. That is very good. Okay. Do we just get rid of Watley then? She does have a very good minus to clean up here. That is a tough one, actually. I really don't know which one we want to go for. I think maybe we go for Vraska played. Make a Death Toucher. And then maybe try for 6 mana so we can tide into Maximize Altitude. And I want to keep my Harvester, so we'll get rid of Watley. I don't know. I don't know. That one's a mystery. This hand got suddenly awkward when we got to the top of the curve. But I'm hoping the Death Toucher will at least kind of stop our opponent from wanting to engage in our creatures. For fear of things going horribly wrong. Voracious Hydra, 4/5. Fights the Zertar Goblin, okay. Sure. It's a big boy. Discards Ral, holding up an Alseed mana. Okay. So, let's see. We can block here, force them to sack the Alseed to kill our dude. This doesn't really work out the way we'd hoped, I think. I think we can block in such a way that their board is either cleaned up or relatively empty by doing something like block, block, block. At least Angrath lives and Vraska lives by doing this. Blood Curdle. So we make a token. Play Inexorable Tide. And then... do we just get rid of the harvester, or do we want to keep it? So we can maximize altitude to proliferate, and it allows us to amass and have a death toucher open. I don't think that really helps. Yeah, I kind of think we would just stick it out and see what loses. Could be us losing, or it could be Vraska or Angrath here. At the very least, we're trading a token for a big boy by the looks of it, or a card in hand. Obnix is kind of trash, unless they go after their own thing. Yeah. I wish I cared about Obnixless in any meaningful way. Alrighty then. Really? No respect for my ability to proliferate. Create a food token. So let's do... what are we doing here? We're discarding Banefire. I think that's trash. We've got 6 mana. An awkward amount, for sure. But we could do something like Leyline Prowler. Proliferate. Nothing to proliferate on that side we'd care about. I think we proliferate again, get rid of Witch Stalker. Oh, we might need the food token, to be honest. But I don't really care about the rest. And then activate. Activate. Ramming speed. Thank you, Angrath. Appreciate the input. I mean, we could still be dead here. Obnixless could just, you know, kill Leyline Prowler and they might have a decent swing. There's a Mangara. Okay, well, we weren't really planning on casting 2 spells a turn, so that one's not too bad, but it's something we can deal with anyway. Leyline Prowler draws some cards. Scorching Dragonfire is insanely good.
Try not to think too hard. I am your inner demon.
Coming at me, coming at me, coming at me. Alright, so we hit Vicious Hydra and proliferate. And then we block there, and we block there, taking 2. We are going to 2 because of Obnixless. Statue.
Suffer the dreams of the damned.
Yeah, we're probably still going to lose. We can't really play Llanowar Visionary because it'll draw us a card and we don't want that. Destroy... it's got to be the Apparition because we can't really block it. Activate. Activate.
If you want it, fight for it.
Discard Harvester. Yeah, I think we're dead. We need an answer to Obnixless, and we also need to double block here. So our creatures aren't the answer. We can't draw into extra cards. I think it's just about going to do it. Hold him back.
It is just a small headache.
Okay, so we do have Menace. So we can kill Obnixilis with a double attack here. Opponent gets to draw. Guess we could have blood curdled first. So we're not dead to that. Okay. Now we can do Llanowar Visionary. Now we can draw cards and we can proliferate. Draw. Nessian Horned Beetle. Let's do... Gonna have to let them draw, I think. Let's do Blood Curdle. Destroy Mangara. Proliferate. Put a menace counter on. Yeah, don't think it particularly matters in case Sangrath goes down. Let's give this Death Touch token a menace. Activate. Activate. And pass. Yeah, if they've got removal, they win. Otherwise, we live to fight another turn. This is an interesting game at the very least. Whether we lose it or not. I'd love to be able to gain life. That would be my dream. Four cards, 6 mana. Opponent discards the Hamlet-back Goliath. And plays a Spellgorger. That won't win them the game. Opponent can't gain life and they make a... Oh, no. That's an absolutely brilliant top deck. That token will kill us whether we block or not. Alright, so we block here, block here. Untap all creatures, draw a card, gain control of 3 target creatures. None of that'll help. We gotta go with the precognitive perception and find an answer to that token that isn't killing it. Do get to scry and then draw 3. No, none of that's gonna do it for us. Draw 3 different cards, please. And yeah, none of that's gonna do it for us either. Oof. So close. So close. Yet so far, you don't do anything special. So we can't gain life. We can't really present lethal. Yeah, we're just gonna die on 1, unfortunately. Such a tilt. I actually think we win if we're on 2. I actually think we win if we're on 2. Eh, well. No. Discard. Do a bit of that. Do a bit of this. Do a bit of that.
If you want it, fight for it.
Send it to our opponent. They double block. They win on combat. Yeah. If we were at 2, I think we win. Sadly. I think we have enough of a board state to win the turn after now. But, yeah, we didn't. That was a good game, though. Let's go for another one. Alright, let's have a look-see. This hand has got some immediately dumped into the graveyard kind of cards. Things like Burning Sun's Emissary, sorry. Or Avatar. That's the one. But other than that, some potentially good cards in here. Chromatic Orrery, drawing extra cards, is pretty damn good. Obnixilis I have zero respect for. Guess we could keep it for killing our own creatures at some point, so... Dump Rimrock Knight. I think Stealth Mission after that is... the dump into Llanowar Visionary. Maze Mind Tome. I would love a Maze Mind Tome. Ooh, Mythos of Luna is technically a Maze Mind Tome. So we're going to go with Stealth Mission into Llanowar Visionary. Draw a card. Keep seeing Vraska. For a 200 card deck, I feel like I've seen Vraska in every single game we've played. Not much to read into on that one, but, you know, it's there. So I hope that they play a really cool 1/1 that dies to a Llanowar Visionary next turn, because I might actually consider going for Mythos of Luna to copy the Visionary, and if we do, we might actually pay the green and the red. We don't have to. The option's there, though. So play a really cool 1/1 for 3 mana. I don't know what that might be. Reese the Redeemed? I don't know. Ooh. Oh. 1 mana 1/1s. Here we go. Maybe. The Ozolith. Alright, fair enough. On that note, I'm going to get rid of Vraska, because I don't appreciate her anymore. And I do really want to get to a Chromatic Orrery so that we've got all the mana in the world. But at the same time, is it not better to go with Stormwing Entity here? And have the Scry? It's a pretty good Mythos of Luna target, I suppose. Yeah. Tetsuko and Jace. Jace is card advantage. Also a prowess option. I'm not going to pretend that he's actually a good card, but he's certainly better than, I think, a random top deck. Stony Strength. Have they got, like, all the 1-drops? They really have. Which probably means they've got all the 7-drops as well, and they're going to win. Mikaeus. An additional all the 1-drop kind of situation. So I think we just go with Mythos of Luna. Four, 5. We've got 6 mana. I think we got Mythos of Luna on Stormwing Entity. We don't fight Mikaeus. I think we can win in the air without having to deal with Mikaeus. Get to Scry again. Howling Giant, no. Bastion, no. Can do better. And then we'll swing for 4. And then the discard here is a bit of a mystery, to be honest. Guess it could just be Obnixilis. I'm thinking of like killing my own creatures with it. It's the only time I've ever actually respected that card. Sorry, Obnixilis fans. I do like original Zendikar Obnixilis. I think he's very cool. Creature and Planeswalker, but this one I was very excited for and then very disappointed for very quickly in advance. I don't approve. How much mana do you generate? 5. Alright, so we can discard for 7 and then we can play a 5-drop off the Chromatic Orrery. You're gonna get baked into a pie, Mr. Bone Picker. I'd just love to see Mikaeus tap out here and just tap down and put a counter on it. put a counter on himself if they really want to. I think they know better. Alright, so I think it's dump Jace, play Orrery, play Bake into a Pie. It's a lot of damage. And I think it even leaves up Defiant Strike mana as well. So, Orrery, Prowess. Bake Bone Picker into a Pie, Prowess. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, combo. Kill Bone Picker. And then let's get an extra Prowess trigger. Do it on the non-token version just in case they've got an unsummon effect. And you're out of here. 13 damage coming over with non-Prowess related lethal damage the turn after. Love to see it. Nice and quick as well. It seems like any win that we get is nice and quick. And any loss is painfully slow. Let's have a look. And another 20 gems. Alright, so I got my 40 gems for this event. That's basically all I expect because, you know, non-protected ICRs are always 20 gems. That's how Arena works. I'm pretty sure it's rigged, but, you know, is what it is. Alright, I think we've got time for one more game anyway. So let's go do it. Okay, let's have a look-see. Is this hand good? Debatable. It's certainly debatable. I would say it's probably on the trash side of things. There's not really particularly much synergy here at all. Palaka Worm for our opponent. Ooh, Village Rites. It's actually not that bad. Can trade trash cards for more trash cards. Let's get rid of Invigorating Surge, play Reese. And just Village Rightsing it later down the line. I think that's really the only good use for it, and then we can get back Village Rites maybe with the Shipwreck Dowser. We do have Pillar of Flame as well, so we can hit our opponent's 2-drop. Should they have one that is Pillar of Flamesable. Shall have to see. Sprawling Hold. Alright. Oh, Clapbridge Troll. Very good. Very good indeed. Alright, well, swing for 1. 1 does nothing. Alright, we'll get rid of Bellhaunt, I guess. It's a nice card and all, but my other cards are better. And pass the turn. Never actually in my entire life seen Reese being good in any form whatsoever. Opponent also equally disrespects the rewind. You prove of how much you hate it. Alright, I'm just gonna get rid of Reese. I don't know when you ever have the time to be, you know, making tokens with it. And you've got to have a very good token hand for the 6-part to actually be good as well. Let's see. Foulmire Knight is probably the play here. Let's get rid of Grateful Apparition. Yeah. Then we'll draw a card. I want to use both sides of the adventure whenever we can. It just helps us maintain that kind of card advantage, which is so important in this game. I would say it's second only to being lucky. Being lucky is also very important in this particular game. Angrath, Champion of Chaos. Ooh. Alright, well, let's go with a Cloudkin Seer to pressure the Angrath. Mad Ratter. I do like the idea of having Rex Sage as an option. I really want to play Foulmire Knight here. Guess we get rid of Chandra's Incinerator. There's a lot of very good cards here that just don't... I don't see myself having the time to ever cast. How does a mass and anointed procession work? If you don't control one, create one first. So you would create 2 0/0s. I guess it actually makes a 0/0 and another 0/0, but it only puts counters on one of them. I think that's how it works. Yeah, I think it's create 2 0/0s, put a counter on one of them, which is interesting. Alright, our opponent's gone with a feat of resistance on white into a deafening clarion. Powerful stuff. Ramming speed. Thank you, Angrath, for that glorious bit of text. Alright, let's have a look. See. Got lots of options for a shipwreck dowser. I think we're going with a Clackbridge troll, though. It's time to dump the Reclamation Sage. My respect has died. And I imagine they start sacking some goat tokens, because they want to keep that menace around. Yup. Player or Planeswalker. What a terrible card. We have the Eliminate for the tokens. I don't think we care about menace necessarily with the Angrath, so Eliminate is going on the Amass token. Is this any target as well? It is, so we can hit Angrath with the Pillar of Flame if we really need to. They've discarded just about the only counterspell I know of in this format, so shouldn't have to worry about that. Oh, Sparky D. Alright, now things are getting awkward. And a Zertar. With haste. So we're taking 9. Oof, owie. Teferi's Time Twist. Alright, so I'm going to go Mad Ratter first before combat. Which means when I draw a card off Clackbridge Troll, I'm going to make 2 1/1s. We're going to get rid of this garbage card. We're going to go to combat. They're going to sack a goat token, gain us some life, make us some tokens. And then we're going to eliminate the target once they've amassed with an Angrath again. Yeah, that's the play here. So make 4 loyalty Angrath, amass a little bit. Oh boy, where's my Reclamation Sage? That's fine though. We should be able to take care of most of the things with counters in the next couple of turns. And certainly get rid of this one. So they can't play 2 spells necessarily. Ugh. Alright. Goodbye, Clackbridge Troll. Let's see if they amass with Angrath. They do. They get rid of that Angrath. And then amass with the other one. I think they're just hoping that it lives. We'll let them go to combat, actually. They're very likely get in with... yeah, just the one. Had to see if they'd get in with the Zertar Goblin as well, though. You have to figure out these things. You have to know. You have to know for sure. Alright, so if we get in with our tokens... we can Pillar of Flame to finish the Angrath for the cost of a single rat token. Which leaves them with nothing for that Tide to really do.
I've weathered tougher storms than you.
And then from there... we can go Shipwreck Dowser, I guess. Let's see. Pillar of Flame, Eliminate... Village Rites. We've got the extreme card advantage on our opponent. I think we take Eliminate here just as a little bit of removal for just about anything that they could play. We'll get rid of... at this point, it might just be Shalai. I think I value Howling Giant over Shalai. Don't get me wrong, she's good. And she's good with the Conclave Mentor, but I think flickering Howling Giant with Teferi's Time Twist is nice. Maybe it was the Grim Dancer first. I do like it as kind of a deterrent. Finishing Blow on my Dowser. Okay, that's fine. Take 2. We're at 9. Deem worthy. You cycle, you may have to... Ooh, 2 damage to a creature. Okay, so we can cycle for 4. Which leaves me with 3, so we can go with Grim Dancer and cycle. We'll have, at this point, because we're so low on life, we'll have Lifelink. We'll have Death Touch as well. Two damage to a creature before it can get any kind of counters. I guess we could wait on it, but I'm going to choose not to, because I think we also want our tokens, and we also need to discard for the Mastermind's token. I'm never going to discard again now, though. From here, we're all in. I think 8 mana is nice to make 2 4-drop plays a turn. Cloudkin Seer to draw. It's a good hit for our opponent. Yeah, 6 and 7 drops should be bomby enough that we don't really have to care about making 2 plays on the same turn. So we're just going to get in like so. And we'll go with a Howling Giant. Sweet. Could discard the Savvy Hunter just so we have extra mana so we can time twist the Howling Giant, but again, not really too concerned with that. I'll just save my card advantage for other things, since it is so important. And we're saving the Eliminate for a Planeswalker that can benefit from the Inexorable Tide. I don't know if Narset's in here or anything like that. I imagine that they're not. But that would be a thing that I do not want triggering with the Tide. Alright, just a 6/5. Yeah, when you get rid of everything with a counter on your opponent's side, this becomes a very trash card very quickly. Bake into a pie. Yep, seems good to me. Alright, destroy the 6/5. Swing in. With everything but the Mad Ratter. And our opponent will explode. And on their second main phase, as they're going into the end step, we'll flicker the Teferi's Time Twist on the Giant. Unless they go for some removal, then we'll save whatever they try to kill. And yeah, we should be swinging for lethal soon enough after that. Alright, well, that is gonna do it for today's video. This format, I don't know. I'm still not sold on it, to be honest. I think it's very, very RNG focused, but not in the fun way that, you know, Momia can be. Momia is kind of a what are you gonna hit kind of thing, whereas this one's kind of like we know what we're gonna hit and we might be very disappointed with it. I still think there's a fair few cards missing from this deck that should be in here, like Big Daddy Bolus. But I don't know. It's kind of personal preference at that point, but I don't know. Make this like really high powered, or you know, add in fan favorite cards. There's just some weird inclusions every time, but you know, it is what it is. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you have, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe as well for some more Mastermind in the future, I guess. If we get enough support on this video, I'll come back and do the next one. I'm not sure if I would do it normally, though. I don't know. I don't think it's quite for me. There's just a fair few too many cards like Jason Genius Mind Mage that I don't understand the inclusion of when you've got very good cards you could put in its place, and you know, lots of fun cards that, you know, people that don't have a big collection can really enjoy in a format like this. You can give those people the impression of owning them while also, you know, grinding them into the dust with your economic system. So, you know. Anyway, like and subscribe. Hit that bell icon. Rambled on long enough. Hope you've enjoyed. I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.